What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to go ahead and apologize for being a tad bit late to the party here with, discussing this brand new Xdefiant information here. I don't think I saw too many massive names talking about this, so it might still be fresh to you guys, which is a good thing. But, obviously the Modern Warfare 3 campaign dropped, and there was that huge information with Modern Warfare 2 where everybody was getting deranked, and also at the same time, if you made a class while being deranked, the anti-cheat thought that you were using an unlock tool, which basically permabans you. So it was a lot of content that I wanted to push out the door there just to inform everybody. But now that that is all out of the way, I want to go ahead and discuss with you guys all the brand new information for Xdefiant, just so we all have, a good idea of what to expect in the upcoming future of this title. But before we go ahead and dive deep, if you guys do enjoy what you hear today and want to hear some more content revolving around Xdefiant or even Modern Warfare 3, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell notification button. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time, and like I said, we're going to be discussing absolutely everything regarding both of these games. And of course, if other FPS games drop, like, the finals and all these other games, I do try to discuss them here and there, but mostly on this channel, you are going to hear a ton about Xdefiant and Modern Warfare 3. And last but not least, if you guys do want to catch my live streams, I won't be live today. We have off on Sunday, but we'll be back in action on Monday. Funny enough, we are going back to some of the OG campaigns, No spoilers here. I was a tad bit disappointed with the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. So what I've been doing on my stream recently is just going back and playing all the classics. We started off with Call of Duty 4, and very shortly, we're going to be playing one of the best Call of Duty campaigns ever on stream, which is World at War. So, of course, if you guys want to be a part of that experience and hang out, get some good vibes, you can find the link to my Kick channel down in the description of this video. That stream usually goes live around 12:30 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, over on Twitter, Mark Rubin put out a post basically summarizing everything that they are currently working on here. As you can see right in front of you, hello all, I wanted to give you all an update on Xdefiant. First off, I can't give you a date yet. I know that's frustrating for some, and I'm sorry, but we want to give a date when we are 100% sure of it. So, for now, let me at least tell you what we are working on. So, as I mentioned in my last update, we found some frame spikes that were causing issues with how the game felt in our last test. We dove further into that and found that a small part of the anti-cheat software that we are using was causing the issue. We fixed that and are making some extra changes that should improve our netcode efficiency. One of those things that we are doing is replacing the low-level network transport layer, which should reduce latency and reduce some of the occasional desync players may perceive when another player had bad latency packet loss. Another area we are working on is switching all of our servers over to Linux. This will help overall server performance, in particular, allowing us to spin up servers significantly faster, which will allow us to handle a large number of players better and hopefully will make our launch smoother. And finally, we are also replacing our social party system as we found that it didn't quite live up to expectations when put under the load of actually being live. Our current system works fine in a test environment, but just wasn't cutting it when we tested live under heavier loads. The new system is being implemented now and should be up and running soon. I know no game is perfect on launch, but we didn't want to just rush the game out. We want to thank everyone for their excitement and participation in all of our pre-launch testing, and I hope that this dedication that we are showing to the game comes across to all of our fans. Xdefiant is a game that we want to be loved for many years to come. Hope that adds some clarity to what's going on with Xdefiant, and I hope everyone has a great day and keep an eye out for more info. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much a summary of everything that's going on right now within Xdefiant, and I gotta be honest again, I know a lot of people are going to be furious right now, and trust me, I understand where you guys are coming from. Me personally as well, it is a tad bit worrying knowing that Modern Warfare 3 is right around the corner and thinking of a release date that's going to be actually good for this game. If we realistically think about it, this game is either going to go ahead and be force launched during Modern Warfare 3, which is a horrifying idea, or we're going to have to wait all the way until 2024, which we really have to keep our fingers crossed that the hype will still last. And that's the thing. Me personally and a lot of other people, I'm beyond excited for this game. This game could launch in 2025, 2 years down the road, and I'll still be going ahead and playing it. I liked what I played in the beta, and that's not going to change when the game launches. When it launches, I'm going to be playing it just as much as I did, in the previous betas. But the problem here is the overall hype, and will Ubisoft keep this project alive? I highly doubt that they're going to go ahead and cut things and, make sure the game doesn't launch, but, you got to think, this game is really going to have to live off of microtransactions. That's the only way this game is going to make any money. right now, it's not going to be paid to get into. It's a completely free-to-play game. Maybe down the road, Ubisoft will put a price tag on it if they're a bit worried. But I'm just stressed that if Ubisoft sees that this game has a massive decline in hype and less people are showing interest, and Call of Duty is gaining a lot of their players back, they might just cut the overall project altogether and not even bother putting it out, which is a big concern of mine. But with all honesty, that's not something we should be stressing about now because the game still has hype. I mean, Mark Rubin, all of his tweets are still gaining thousands and thousands of likes, and I'm sure if they go ahead and put out more play tests, tons of people will still go ahead and enjoy the game because let's be real here, a lot of individuals, despite, all the pretty positive changes in Modern Warfare 3, don't give a crap about the game. And also, Modern Warfare 3 is still going to have skill-based matchmaking at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what development team is working on what game or, what positive changes they make on that game in Call of Duty. At the end of the day, skill-based matchmaking is still incorporated into the title. I mean, obviously, skill-based matchmaking has always been in Call of Duty since day one, but the type of skill-based matchmaking that we have nowadays is what's really ruining everybody's overall experience. So with that, being said, there's still a lot of people out there who will gladly wait and, enjoy this game when it finally does come out and launch. But what I really want to say is that I appreciate all of the information that Mark Rubin puts out for us, and this is exactly what we want out of a title. Right, guys? I know everybody wants to rush this game out the doors. I know everybody wants to play this as soon as possible, but this is how a game should be designed. They, put out playtests, they put out betas, they test out things, and, if it works, that's great, but if there's something wrong, they shouldn't force it out to meet deadlines. That's what happens all the time. Call of Duty, they could put out a beta, which are glorified demos nowadays, but they could put out a beta, and there could be a thousand things wrong, and the game will still have to be forced out because Activision has a set release date for it. It doesn't matter if they can fix it or if they can't fix it by launch, it will still be released in a broken state. With Xdefiant, we are lucky. They don't have an official release date. I know that pisses people off. I know people want an official release date, but this is good for the community because this means the developers don't have to rush through anything. They can put out as many playtests, as many betas as they want. They can test everything in the world, and if something messes up, if something breaks, they can go right back and, fix it up and make sure it's polished off. And by the time that this game launches and we can finally play it, it should be in a perfect state. We won't have to worry about servers. We won't have to worry about connection. We won't have to worry about many bugs. And yes, of course, it's impossible to squash all bugs. There's always going to be more problems that will, show up, especially at launch. They can fix 1,001 things behind the scenes, and they can fix 1,001 things in the beta. But when the game officially goes out there, yeah, there's going to be broken things. It's bound to happen. But in reality, we want this game to launch in the best shape it possibly can, and this is how you do it, by not rushing it out the door. And it's harsh because I know Mark Rubin is probably getting so much backlash. He's probably getting so many people coming at his neck. But if there's one thing I could tell you guys is please relax, calm down, and let this game take its time. Let them cook. Because that is what makes a good title. Just like Mark Rubin said in his post here, he wants this game to last for years to come. And I want it to last for years to come as well. I don't want to Xdefiant 2. I don't want to Xdefiant 3. I don't want them to do what Call of Duty does where they release a game every single year to make up for, messes that they made in the past. No, I want one good, solid game that will last for a long time. Like Rainbow Six Siege, for example. A game that will last years and years and years and years. And all they have to do is just keep updating it with content and the community will be happy. That's what we want. But in order to get a game like that, it has to be polished because the game won't last. If the game launches broken, it's not going to have enough people to support it to even last longer than a year. They'll probably shut down servers after that point. So they have to make sure it launches in a good enough form that people will stick with it and not leave and abandon ship for another title because it's unplayable. And ladies and gentlemen, I do want to go ahead and leave you guys with one last thing because I think this is extremely important, and that is the fact that yes, indeed, we will be getting more playtests and more betas in the upcoming future. As you can see right here, Mark Rubin put out a tweet a little while ago saying, once we get all of this new work integrated, we will most likely run a weekend-long test with PC and current-gen platforms, which once again is phenomenal because we want to test it in a live environment. It's a difference between them testing it behind the scenes and testing it with, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of individuals trying to pour into the overall game. So this is huge, this is crucial, and again, if you are craving this game, just know that in the future we will be having more playtests that probably will be open for all of public, and I think that will be the true tell if this game will be able to compete, because if a playtest, a beta, can get a decent player count and compete with Modern Warfare 3, which will probably already be out by the time this playtest goes live, then yes, indeed, I think that the game will still have hype and people will still enjoy it, and hopefully Ubisoft will see that proof and keep pushing along with the game. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you hated it, leave a dislike. Also, don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. And last but not least, if you want to catch some live streams, I have a link to my Kick channel down in the description of this video. That usually goes live around, 1 p.m. Eastern Time-ish. Don't forget, we don't stream on Sundays, but we'll be back live and in action on Monday. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.